Now I want to bring in Democratic Congresswoman from Florida, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. It's good to see you. I don't know that it's useful to lay blame, but it's useful to figure out where we are, how we got here, and so how we move forward. So let me ask you, there was a deal. That deal seems to be dead. Is it a Donald Trump problem? Is it an Elon Musk problem? Or is it a bipartisan problem? Because as one of your Republican colleagues said, the American people didn't send representatives to Congress to do a 1,500-page bill in less than 24 hours that spends $110 billion.
Chris, thanks for having me. And let's just be very clear. This bipartisan agreement was negotiated over many weeks. It had agreement from Democrats and Republicans in the Senate, the Democrats and Republicans in the House. There was a handshake. It was filed as legislation, and the summary and the 1,500 pages were published. And the Republicans have a 72-hour rule, which we were proceeding through, apparently, in order for them to be able, for all of us to be able to read the bill. And that bill was designed to take care of the millions of people who were impacted by Hurricanes Milton and Helene. I mean, my state stands to lose $10.8 billion after the devastation of those hurricanes that would have provided that relief in this package. And what Mike Johnson needs to do is go see the wizard and find some courage to stand up to an unelected billionaire who stands to make even more money when the tax cuts that they are planning next year come through. And that's why they want to increase the debt ceiling, so they can leave themselves more room to take care of billionaires. We need to stay here, pass the bipartisan agreement, and make sure that our farmers, our seniors, our small businesses, and the folks who had their lives devastated by these hurricanes are made whole again.
So what is your level of confidence, Congresswoman, right now that lawmakers can avoid a government shutdown?
Well, that is what Donald Trump and President Musk have called for. I mean, they essentially said, you should reject this deal and shut the government down. The government shuts down tomorrow night. We have the ability to avoid that by making sure that the agreement that we came to is passed and signed by President Biden, who is the sitting president now. And President Musk needs to take a step back, because we're not going to elect an unelected, we're not going to listen to an unelected billionaire who is threatening his minor Republican colleagues in the House, who are cowering in the corner because they are afraid of a primary. They all need to go stiffen their spines and come to the table, get this agreement passed, so we can take care of seniors, small businesses, farmers, and the people who were devastated by hurricanes. That's what needs to happen.
So what is your party's role right now? What can you all do, understanding what the stakes are?
Our role was to make sure that we would come to the table and work with Republicans across the aisle, which we did, and came together to pass a bipartisan agreement that ensured that we would have housing relief, that we would take care of our small businesses, that we would extend the Farm Bill legislation for a year so that we can continue negotiating on that broader assistance that farmers need. But particularly that we need to make sure we pass the disaster supplemental, because there are millions of people across this country who were devastated by hurricanes and wildfires and floods. And what the Republicans are doing here, because they're cowering in the corner because they're afraid of President Musk and Donald Trump, is they are jeopardizing millions of lives, thousands and thousands of small businesses. They're jeopardizing seniors. They're risking not having our military get their paychecks, TSA agents having to work potentially without pay while taking care of the security of our nation. They are the Chaos Caucus, and this is just a preview of what's ahead of us for the next 4 years.